Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is yet another driving review of a new car, and this time the all-new GLB. And in this video we are going to discuss the platform, the handling dynamics, the engine and gearbox performance. But starting off with this. So the mainstream media has always sort of termed the GLB as the mini or the baby GLS. Is that a right thing to say? They also say that the GLB is a stretched GLA. But what they don't tell you is about a product called as the GLK, which was present in the Mercedes lineup globally till some time. And if you look at the dimensions of the GLK and study the dimensions of the GLB, you will understand that both the products were made to look like the bigger GL counterpart, because that time the GLS was called the GL, and right now this is also designed to sort of impersonate the GLS design cues. So the GLK needs to be mentioned when we are talking about the GLB. So why is the GLK now renamed? Why is this not called the GLK? It's pretty confusing, but I'll try to explain you. So previously the GLK was based on the C-Class platform, which was the rear-wheel drive platform. GLB and the GLA, these products are based on the front-wheel drive platform. We will study the platform in the next bit. And now there is a dedicated rear-wheel drive car based on the C-Class, which we know as the GLC. So what they've done with the GLB is that they've stretched the GLA a bit, given it a more upright stance with a kink in the shoulder line, and that has given it a much more serious look versus the GLA. We are still not mentioning the two extra seats yet. We're just trying to understand the product positioning. And if you dig deeper into the design, if you really look more closely at the GLB, you will find that it's an amalgamation of a design of a van, a station wagon, and an SUV, all put together into one product. And that is, from my eyes, the product positioning of the GLB. The platform is the same modular front architecture Generation 2 platform, which is the MFA2 platform. We are aware, and I have driven an MFA2 product previously also, which was the GLA, and that was also a 4MATIC version. So it is a good platform. A stretched GLA can be the right way to put this product category and define the platform. So that also speaks about the modular bit of the MFA. It is flexible, and new products can be created from this same platform, and that's what companies want these days. One platform, multiple products, different product categories. So the engine I'm driving is the 220 diesel. So it's not unfamiliar, this engine. I've experienced this engine in many Mercedes cars before with different engine tunes. This is the 400 Newton meter one. We know that the other internal combustion engine option to pick from the petrol is pretty underpowered, so that is out of question. So surely the diesel is the one to go for. At any RPM, you get that gush of torque to pull you out of those low RPMs to take you to the meat of the power band up to 3750, 3800 RPM. It keeps you engaged with that torque. And right now, as we were speaking about drivability, we are on the Eastern Express Highway, which is a relatively busy highway, and it is doing really well. So power is not an issue, but the drivability is really good considering it's paired with a DCT gearbox. We need to understand conventional DCTs are supposed to be jerky. This, however, it doesn't have that snappy DCT like shifting, particularly in the lower gears. There is some sort of detuning done by Mercedes to keep this.
How can I help?
Okay, that was the voice activated Mercedes help. However, now we were speaking about the gearbox, and there is some sort of detuning done in the initial gears to keep the gearbox less jerky and aid drivability also. However, once you are lifting speed, it will drop the gear in typical DCT fashion and won't disappoint. So the GLB handles well for its size. That's not a surprise because it's based on the same platform, the MFA2 platform, what the GLA is, and definitely the GLA would be slightly more chuckable, but I'm pretty much happy with how the GLB has sort of been able to carry forward the similar amount of dynamics what the GLA had, irrespective of the extra weight and the dimensions. And full-time all-wheel drive system. In comfort mode, it is giving up to 20% power at the rear, sport around 30%, so it's still a 70-30 bias. It's only at low speeds or in off-road situations, some modes which will probably give you a 50-50 split. But interestingly, it is. And full-time all-wheel drive, that is something which keeps the fun factor as well as allows you to drive on the edge. And while on the edge, if there's something which, if there is a correction required, the 4MATIC system will happily come into play and correct whatever the wrongdoings you did. Coming to the ride quality, the whole suspension setup feels really good, and 19 inches, so that is a good wheel size. 1 inch up than the Fortuner which I'm having, and I believe the tire size is 235/50 R19s. So keeping that in mind, the ride quality is surely good. And this is not a very new car. This has been a media car since a few months now, and I can visualize how it has been abused over the time by some of the media personnel, which I'm sure you guys also would know that how they drive the cars. So still the car is holding up pretty well. Speaks about the overall CBU build quality. It is genuinely fine. So many may think that the advantage what GLB has over the GLA is those two extra seats. That's not entirely true, because the real advantage what the GLB has over the GLA is this extra space, the overall roomy cabin. With this extended wheelbase, it really frees up the middle row, and genuinely it makes you feel that you are seated in a much larger car. And is it a 7-seater? Let's just call the GLB SUV which has 7 seats, if you know what I mean. The front is identical to that of the GLA. In fact, I remember driving the GLA about 2 years back in 2021, and interesting to see that Mercedes India have carried forward the same spec of the interior for the GLB. However, being a CBU, I believe this cabin might hold an edge over the GLA when it comes to the overall build and the fit and finish. To conclude things, it would be fair to say that the GLB is a more practical and a spacious option compared to the GLA. It is more compact than the GLC, while offering 2 more seats which both don't have. So the question is, which variant should you pick from the GLB lineup? And the answer to that is simple. As an enthusiast, I would say, pick the diesel. Buy the internal combustion engines till you can. And on that note, thank you for watching.